me?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
hi.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing this evening?
Good.
OZ, glad to have you back.
I know, it's been forever.
Good to be here. I know.
How's everything? Oh, good, living, doing it. What about yourself? We want to hear a little bit about you.
Oh my God. Where do I begin? School is so stressful. And work, so it's like I'm schooling and I'm working. I didn't know nursing school would be this hard. I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? So that's been the story.
Okay, all right. It's all for the love of people, and I'm here for it.
I have
Marie, faith. How you doing?
I am above ground, and I'm going to call that a win.
Always. Ooh, bless the Lord above.
Amen, and pass the ammunition.
Said a good Southerner.
I know, right? Like, there are no atheists in foxholes. And I gotta tell you, this week I feel like I'm in a foxhole. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no. Well, hopefully today's edition of Star Trek Discovery has given you new life, new meaning. Hopefully.
I mean, you already know. Like, I mean, did you don't even pretend you were not getting my texts about how excited I was.
New life. All right, so let's get into it. Real quick. The episode started with Rillak basically grilling Vance and Burnham, basically asking, like, how could you not know that this would happen? Like, in terms of Burnham, how could she not know that Booker was about to do this? In terms of Vance, how could he not know that his guy, Tarka, was about to do this? Of course, both of them, like, they had no clue. They obviously had no clue, right? But Burnham decides to basically volunteer to aid in the search for Tarka and Booker, knowing that they would have to basically look for isolinium, which they're probably going to get on the black market, okay? But Rillak is like, nah, you're too close to this. You're too close to this. And Vance kind of okayed it, right? So, she sulks off. And then later, Vance comes to her and is like, I really do think you need to do everything in your power, wink, wink, to get those star charts and find Booker and Tarka. All right. So, of course, now she's on a mission, and lo and behold, she takes someone on the B cast that we don't know a whole lot about. Owushikun. Did I say it right? Or closer? Closer this time. Closer. All right.
We're gonna call it good.
Okay. All right.
She's Owo.
Owo.
Unless Ozzy wants to correct her pronunciation.
Oh, wow. We call it oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I know, oh, wow. Yeah, no. That's going to be playing in my head all night now. So thanks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Joe, word of the day. Word of the day. Oh, wow.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, okay.
I love it. I
do want to tell Michael Burnham not to quit her day job as captain, though. Like, as a Barker, she's just not going to cut it. It's just not a thing. Sorry, Michael. Sorry, Sonequa Martin Green. I was with you until that point.
It's okay. So They basically meet up on, what's the name of this planet? I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. It starts with a P.
Parathia?
Okay, yeah. So they meet up on this planet, and they're looking for basically a black market agent. And this particular agent is going to, if he doesn't have the isolinium, he knows someone who most likely does. Okay. And so they meet up there. Obviously, Book gets there a little sooner because he used his spore drive prototype.
Also, let's be real, he kind of has a head start.
Right. Of course. Of course. He has a head start because he has a spore drive prototype, and also he knows exactly where he's going. Right. So
how that works.
So they meet up, right? And long story short, they have to basically fight for the isolinium. And they do this in the way of a poker game. And I think what was so great about the poker game was it was a lot of subtext, right? Or I shouldn't say a lot of subtext, but there was some subtext, and the subtext was their relationship. And basically, Book, if you do this, a lot of things are about to change. Do you really want to do this? Like, forget Starfleet, forget Federation. Do you really want to do this? Okay. And so, of course, there were a couple of other things that happened. For instance, Culber was really, really stressed about not being able to protect his friends on the ship, and Stamets had to come in and basically counsel the counselor, which I thought was kind of cool because normally, or at least this particular season, a little bit in the last season, Culber had kind of sort of been like that emotional go-to person, but not in this episode. It was Stamets, which is, for me, it's like
literally showed far more emotional awareness than we have seen out of this man ever. I'm like so excited that Anthony Rapp is finally getting to be something other than crabby, but which is kind of amazing. But Stamets has been grumpy. Like there's been nothing about Stamets that has not been grumpy. Like
we're seeing some emotional growth,
which is one of the reasons that the dynamic between Stamets and Reno is so great. Because like Tig Notaro's perfect straight man routine versus Anthony Rapp's energy is just amazing. And the fact that we don't see more of her hurts my heart a little because she's so fantastic. Also, can we talk about the fact that like Culber starts yelling at the space Roomba? Because I have a Roomba and I have screamed at it to go the F to dock before. So I feel it. I was there for that.
You were there for that, but it didn't land for me. It just didn't land. Ozzy, what about you? Did it land for you?
No, we didn't.
I think she was on mute and she was trying to get off mute. Why didn't it land for you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't get to see the episode yet. So
okay.
Well, 8 minutes late. Spoilers.
I don't mind spoilers. I really don't.
Okay. All right. So so the reason it didn't land for me was it was really his performance. Now, if he had, so he shouted that out, right? If he had like given like a devilish like, did not tell you to get out of here, like something like that, like it would have I would have felt something a little more. But to see a grown man shout in the way that he shouted at some inanimate object, it didn't land for me.
I'm also not gonna say that like I'm feeling a little judged right now. But I no. You're like a grown man wouldn't shout like that. Shout at that like at an inanimate object. I'm over here like I do that all the time. Well, go dock.
I'm with you, Mariah. Like I think sometimes if there's a camera in my house, they'll get me committed because I shouted everything.
I think it's part of having kids, honestly.
The kids and everything, TV, everything.
I get shouting at the kids. I get shouting, but you know, it's just I don't know. I've just never seen. I've never
You've
seen
never
it.
been so frustrated with something where you're like,
You know what? I have.
I'm not
When
gonna
no one
lie.
is
Like, I
looking.
may or may not have
When no
been
one is
where
looking,
Culber
you
was
know,
today.
I'll shout at the remote. how, how
no
dare
one
you
is
change the channel? I did not press a button. You know?
So,
But I'm alone. No one sees me doing it.
I mean, you know, he's the spouse, right? Like, I mean, he's yelling in front of his husband. Like, you know, at a certain point, though, like,
I get it.
There's no mystery left anymore.
No, none.
There is no
Between the
mystery
two of
left.
them, I mean, we've seen Culber naked. I mean, there's no mystery with anybody.
That was a good day. I mean, not so much for his character, but that was a good day. Because, you know, and again, Wilson Cruz apparently has managed to find the fountain of youth and is never going to age.
So true.
Like, if he could share his skincare secrets, I would be down, because I am not that lucky.
Not from what I'm seeing.
No, this is so much foundation, Ozzy. Like, you just don't even know. Like, I mean, it's like an inch.
Well,
she does that all the time.
Good.
She does that all the time.
But now, okay, we got to move on from Space Roomba. We got to go back. You skipped a major part.
Which part? Like, some parts I skipped on purpose because I wanted to get into it. But which part are you talking about?
Oh, I was gonna go with like
no. Let's go.
Cage fighting.
The who fighting?
Cage fighting.
Oh, I wanted to get there.
Okay. I am not going to mess with your flow, but this is where I want to be. Isn't that
okay? All right. So I started with like the B plots, right? So my first one was with Culber, and then the next one I was going to pivot to was actually that. So since you want to be there, let's go there. Why don't you dive in?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I've been kind of consistently disappointed with, and not hugely, obviously, but like consistently disappointed with, is just how the bridge crew itself has been kind of underutilized. The real problem with that, I think, lands on Owo's shoulders, because Owo is like the Deus Ex Machina / MacGuffin, right? If you need somebody who can mysteriously hold her breath forever, Owo. You need somebody who can handle, you know, wandering around in like this weird sort of Stone Age society. Owo comes from a Luddite colony. And now we need somebody who is capable of cage fighting and kicking the crap out of an enormous gentleman. I'm sure he's lovely in real life, but obviously he's meant to be a thug here. Like, he is. He's just a bad guy. Owo's your woman.
She did a good job. Very
do not get me wrong. I am 150% there for that. All of it. All of it.
I thought of you. I did. Not the part that you're thinking about, but I was just like, you know what? It's Owo to the rescue. You know what I'm saying? So I thought of you. I did. I really did.
It is. I really love that we get to see like these little bits of her history come out. I do. But I mean, you know how Spock always had that you know, mysterious extra ability to do whatever the story needed? I sort of feel like Owo manages to fall into that category a lot. But the episode sort of makes up for using her as a MacGuffin, because it gives her that amazing interaction with Ruan Tarka. So again, I've mentioned this before, but Sean Doyle is apparently just making a career out of being a slimy sleazeball. He was a slimy sleazeball in The Expanse, and sure enough, he's coming over to this other space franchise, and he's a slimy sleazeball. I mean, I get it. Like, Sean is trying very hard to make Ruan Tarka like whatever this deep and an awful loss is, like, somehow believable. It's not. It's not.
Not yet.
I'm sorry. okay, just I had to check out for a minute because here is this dude who is telling, here's again, and right, Christion, whatever, right? But here is basically this white dude looking at Owo who has said, hey, I too have lost people. Like I have had like these experiences. Also, mind you, Owo has read him basically just
For filth.
right
Up and down.
right, like she's like, I get this, I get this, I get this. He's like, oh, maybe you're doing it because of a promise to somebody that you lost. And I'm like, so also we're going to add psychic to Owo's list of abilities now.
But hold on, I don't want to
but
interrupt you.
I loved it.
I don't want to interrupt you. Please continue. But I just wanted to say this. So out of all the people that he has interacted with, it was she that unnerved him.
Because she read him like a book. Because she read him like a book. Because here is Ruan. So Ruan Tarka. Ruan Tarka is the smartest guy in the room. He knows he's the smartest guy in the room. And that titanic ego that even Vance mentions seems to be his defining characteristic. And so that means that everything this man does is somehow like so much more important than everyone else, right? Like it's just, oh my god. So anyway, she's literally like reading him and she's like, no, Broseph, I hate to break it to you, but I mean, obviously she's so much nicer than I am, by the way. Just so much nicer. But she's like, Brosephus, you are not the only person who has ever you're not the only person who has ever had this experience of like losing someone, and who has ever like other people have this experience too. And he's all like, no, you don't understand. Right. And I got so angry with him. Just so angry.
I think this is what I think. So, okay, so I see your point. And there was a part of me that thought that as well. But then I remembered that there's a backstory that he didn't tell in, what was that? Episode 2, maybe episode 3. And so I'm just waiting to hear that backstory. Not to say that his story is going to be so much more emotional than anyone's else's, but your story, is always more emotional than anyone's else's. And so I want to hear what that story might be.
But he told us a little bit about it, and like Owo's reading of him mirrors exactly what he told Book. And it's just further indication of just how deeply narcissistic this man is.
Well, yeah.
And so he's literally telling Owo, no, I don't care what your life is. I don't know how, like, whatever has existed in the background, you have no idea how difficult it is to be me. Let me cry over here in a corner.
Let's switch gears. I want to make it light, and then I want to go into something a little more serious. Did you check out their shuttlecraft? Like I haven't seen their shuttlecraft in a while. Like at least since they went to the futures. Have you? Like I don't recall seeing their shuttlecraft. And it reminded me, number one, it reminded me of a runabout, but they specifically called it a shuttlecraft, or a shuttle pod, one or the other. But it wasn't like running on, I don't know, thrusters. It was like using like warp speed, right? And so I'm just curious. I wonder if their shuttle has firepower.
Yeah, it's a good question. This is not actually like a version of the shuttlecraft or shuttle pod that I'm familiar with. Like you're right, that came out of nowhere.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to read something, and then I want to get your thoughts. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna ask a question, and then I want your thoughts. So, Book reminds Burnham that when they first met, he had hijacked someone else's cargo to save an endangered species. Basically, he was saying, "I ain't new to this." Book then says, "You should leave, Michael." She says, "I can't do that." He says, "Then what are you gonna do?" Burnham says, "Stop you." Now, let me ask this question. How does this compare or contrast to when Ben Sisko had his suspicions about Cassidy Yates?
Oh,
How did these two captains handle this situation? Compare or contrast?
ooh.
Now, Ozzy, do you remember that situation? Based on your memory, how did Ben Sisko handle that situation?
He was obsessive. That was
Mm,
one thing that I found. He was very, very obsessive, and he took it as a personal betrayal and not a betrayal to Starfleet. So
okay. But how did he handle Cassidy Yates? Oh,
I mean, so what actually happens is he pursues her because she's smuggling what she believes are medications to Maki settlements. Turns out that's not what it is. She's been duped. And so it ends up being far more serious than you expect. But what he does is he pursues her, he arrests her, and ultimately he understands why she's doing it. Right. And he understands that like this is the choice that she is making and why she's making the choice.
I'm so sorry. I had a little technical difficulty. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Well,
It's okay.
Can I continue? I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
He was forgiven with the whole situation with Cassidy Yates. He was hurt at first. But he was forgiven. I mean, he ended up marrying her. So he was forgiven.
Yeah.
Like basically, but he also sent carts her off to jail. And what's great about it is she also understands why. Like she knew going into this that she was going to jail if she was ever caught, and that it was that the person who was very likely to have to send her to jail was going to be the person with whom she's in a relationship. I think some of it is. But to compare and contrast it, I think it's similar in the sense that we're looking at personal and professional betrayals. And that's, so on the one hand, Sisko has to be commander of Deep Space Nine, representative of the Federation. But on the other hand, I think he kind of gets it a little. He's got kind of a fraught history with the Maquis, but like I think he kind of gets what's going on. For Burnham, for Burnham, it's very different because on the one hand, she's cleaving to Starfleet, and she has to be Starfleet, and she has to go catch him. But on the other, I don't think she really gets what Book's trying to do. Like I don't think it's processing. And his argument that he makes to her, which is, you met me and I was kidnapping like these transworms to save them, they're very different things. Like he's kidnapping the transworms so that they can survive. He is about to blow something up.
He's about to kill.
Yeah.
Or attempt to kill.
Right. That's what he's doing. Now, admittedly, and I think we get further evidence of this, that Book has absolutely zero interest or zero belief that he's going to get out of this. Like I think he thinks he's going to die. And he is expecting to die. But here he is, like he's going to, participate in this terrorist activity because he thinks he's going to stop death. And Burnham's just looking at him like, but you can't kill things and possibly start a war to stop death. Gwyn. Like let's jump over to Prodigy for a minute, and I really love how A Moral Star Part 2 leads into All In, because one of the things that Gwyn looks at her father, the diviner, and says, you cannot trade one tragedy for another.
Wow.
And that's a hugely sophisticated statement to be made by a 17-year-old, or anybody really. And there's no doubt in my mind that Gwyn understands exactly what's going on with her dad and understands exactly the whole situation. That's literally what Burnham's trying to make the argument. That's Burnham's argument is you cannot trade. You can't trade this tragedy of the possibility of another Quasion for starting a war with species 10C. Like there's no way around it.
Right. So let's jump gears just a little bit, with something a little light. So we learned that another one of Book's nicknames is Glowworm. Let your mind imagine what's going on there.
I mean, dude, stealing transforms, guys. Like, I mean,
yeah, maybe. Maybe.
But also, yeah, no, I kind of do. I may or may not have had a glowworm as a kid, so for me, I thought that was really funny.
Okay. All right. So, on that particular planet, the name starts with a P. What's the name of
Parathia?
Parathia. There we go.
It's not really on Parathia though. Like he's on this floating barge because of course he is. Like it's a boat casino, and like I truly expect that at the very back the engines are shaped like a paddle wheel. I do.
Okay. So on his barge, part of what, in order to pay for the isolinium, whatever it's called, in order to pay for
the magical random element that doesn't exist of the week.
The two of them, Tarka and Booker, what they have to do is they have to figure out who the card sharks are. And so what they realized was it's not an enterprise of people, it's really just a changeling. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, did we expect this?
I knew when the changeling showed up that Jermaine was going to be all over this. I knew.
Wait, how? What? I mean, it's. What are you talking about? Like, it's a changeling.
Wait, there's a changeling on Discovery.
Yes,
there is.
Yes.
Okay. I can't see this.
And to make certain that we knew it was a changeling, I mean, it looked like Odo's forehead. I mean, you know.
Oh no, they do that kind of like half finished face.
Yeah.
Oh just my God. As the default setting, which is crazy because we've literally just seen this changeling go from being one perfectly realized creature to morphing into, and I really loved how they did the morph, by the way. I thought that was cool.
It wasn't the golden liquidy thing. It was like almost ashy, like,
I know, like sand.
Yeah,
like sand running through an hourglass. But then it transforms into a perfect tribble, which I thought was hilarious as well. All in, despite the fact that it's dealing with just tremendous, like this very heavy set piece with Michael and Book, is still funny, which I thought was an interesting choice.
So another thing,
do we know yet? Like, do we know if the changeling's about to start a war again, or is this a good or a bad changeling? We don't know.
Oh no! I mean, we could let our minds soar. That's another question that I have. But we can definitely let our minds soar. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But another question that I had, and I don't know if you caught it because it's been a while since we've seen it. So what Tarka does in order to catch the changeling is he puts it in this bubble contraption, a stasis field of some sort. Not really a stasis field because they can still move inside of it. But if you don't remember, we saw this in the episode where Jarjo first reemerges into the Discovery world, right after she assassinates these Klingon officials. And so she put one Klingon into a similar bubble contraption. And so my question is, can we assume that this technology is now old technology, but it was something that Section 31 had during that time period? And how or why would Tarka use old technology?
I think the answer is actually in the nature of the barge, because one of the statements that Michael makes to Oo is that the barge itself is
It doesn't allow technology.
right. It doesn't, is impervious, and so like there's this joke, right, that a lot of systems that on which we rely are actually based in older tech because they're harder to hack because nobody remembers how they work anymore.
Right.
And so I think that's a little bit of what's I remember seriously like peeking around and looking at this American Airlines terminal when this guy was trying to tell me that we weren't booked or whatever. And I'm like, that's DOS. Like, I know how to make that work. So if gentlemen, if you would like to move, I will make that work. No. And so I think this is kind of like the Star Trek equivalent of DOS.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so I did that. All right, so we're going through this like really, really fast, y'all. So once Burnham gets back, Rillak was doing a really good job of praising Burnham for being creative, but also questioned whether it had anything to do with Admiral Vance. And I don't know if you caught that look that she gave Admiral Vance, but I wondered, is there a backstory there? And if so, what could that backstory be? I mean, clearly he's a married man and he loves his family, so it can't be any hanky panky going on. So I'm trying to figure out what he could have done that she didn't like.
I mean, mostly hire Ruan Tarka, who is clearly insane.
Maybe, but I mean, at one point it was kind of like she was okay with him. Like I like
Ruan Tarka. Well, remember, this is coming on the heels, actually, time-wise, of the last episode. So, like, I mean, Rillak makes the comment to Burnham, like, just a few hours ago, you were making the argument for first contact. Someone needs you to, like, get on that, is kind of where that goes. So I think, whatever was going on, Rillak is now a head of state who has to deal with this mess. And she feels like these people should have known that this was going to be a mess. And she's not wild about it.
Oh, you mean Burnham and Vance?
I do.
But I think the problem that okay, so as a politicians like to blame other people for whatever happens, and I get that. But I mean, the real side of it is that you can't control people around you. You can't. You don't know what's going on in their heads. You don't, like, I don't know. Just
no, but like I would imagine that in this government, in this mysterious government setting, that there's been a vetting process. I would imagine that there are multiple levels of vetting that go on in order for Tarka to get the free reign that he got. And so what Rillak is really asking is, with respect to Rillak, how did the process break down? When she's talking to Book, it's a much more, and she makes this point, like, it's a much more personal question.
Yeah, I get it. I just whatever. Let's move on.
You just think she's the devil. You think she's the devil because she's Cardassian.
No, that's not it. Okay, so honestly, the real reason I had those issues, yes, it was like a laundry list of reasons. But the first one that I really said was the fact that she was part Cardassian. But the other point, which was supposed to be much more dramatic, was the fact that she is giving, or she had been giving, not currently, at the time, she was giving Burnham the blues, and it was just coming out of nowhere. And if you recall, what was it? Episode 1, she was like, "Oh, I'm considering these people to do something or whatever. And I just realized that you can't be one of them." Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to
Well,
that?
I mean, currently, Rowan Tarka has absconded with the spore drive that they were going to put in. What is it? This Voyager 2 or whatever. And so there's nothing she can do there.
Oh, but my point. Okay, so there was supposed to be clearly there was supposed to have been more than one captain. That was going
Under
to be in it.
consideration, but we
Right.
haven't actually seen any of these other captains because Discovery really tends to focus on Michael Burnham for good or for ill.
But my point. Well, at least I was under the assumption that it would have been more than one captain that would have had access to this spore drive, which would have meant that there would have been more than one spore drive available.
I think I
prototype.
did not get that impression. I got the impression that they had a single prototype and that they were going to put the single prototype and build it into a new ship, and they were going to put they were vetting captains to put onto the second generation spore drive.
And that's all well and good. And yet, and still, she's putting all of her hope, all of her praise on Burnham over and over and over again. And yet she couldn't see fit. You know what I'm saying? Like she couldn't see fit to do that. She was holding the Federation together. It wasn't even Rillak. It was Burnham that held the Federation together. It was Burnham that got some of those planets at that meeting. Not Rillak. With all of her flaws, with all of her human flaws that she had. And so my point at that particular point in time was like, no, you need to, number one, you need to back off because you're too much into Starfleet. Stick to the politics of it. That's where I was coming from. The first thing that I said, though, was the fact that, she's part Cardassian and she's not to be trusted because she's part Cardassian, which would have then led into my second point, which was all the other things that I just recanted. Not recanted, but just explained. But anyway, all right. So towards the end of the episode, when all seemed to have been lost, Burnham comes in for the save. She basically let everyone know. Well, first, Rillak was like, "You basically lost everything. Like literally, you lost everything, right?" And then Burnham was just like, "No." It's kind of like dead. Like, "No, I didn't. Let me remind you of some things." And then after that, she was just like, "This is what I did. I put a tracking device on this, whatever it is. I can't remember the name of it. And woof.
The isolinium.
Isolinium. There we go. And then
which,
woof.
by the way, can we talk about what that looked like? Because I feel like that looks like a very popular and yet awkwardly shaped lamp. You know the one I'm talking about. You know.
Yeah.
there have been some interesting design choices in this, I gotta say. Like, the cards we've seen before in various iterations, mostly Deep Space Nine. Those Latinum strips, though, like, can we talk about the bars of Latinum that they're just kind of carrying around? I was like, okay, you do that. And then we get Haz, who is, I don't even know what he is. I feel like I should, but I don't.
But didn't you remind you, what was the name of that television show? It was another sci-fi show. Didn't his character, at least the head, remind you of another character from, oh my God, what was it? Oh my God, it came out in the 90s.
Alien Nation?
No, they were like on Battlestar Galactic. What was that? What it was?
Yeah, there aren't really aliens in Battlestar.
Really? Oh, shoot. Well, okay, whatever. I've got to find it. I've got to find
really,
it.
We're down with Trek. We are not so great with like other 90s sci-fi.
Yeah. But anyway, he just looked familiar. He looked very familiar. The shape of the head and like,
Babylon 5. I'm guessing.
Babylon 5. Is that what I was thinking? Okay.
Yeah, I think you're thinking Babylon 5, which is also really funny for various reasons.
Okay. Why is that?
Because Babylon 5, allegedly, and by allegedly I mean almost certainly was pitched by J. Michael Straczynski to Paramount as a Star Trek series originally, and they turned him down. And then very, very shortly thereafter, they came out with Deep Space Nine, which shares a tremendous amount of commonality with the pitch that Straczynski gave. Straczynski was able to go to another network. I want to say it was Fox, but like I don't remember that exactly. And develop Babylon 5.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this kind of like thing. There's a bit of a kerfluffle.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'm really glad that we got both. I think Deep Space Nine went in a very different direction under Ira Bear, and then I think Babylon 5 was fantastic under JMS. But I don't necessarily think they needed to be
in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But this was almost a throwaway line. After she, meaning Burnham, showed Rillak and Vance where Book was located, she then turned and she said, "My commitment to the Federation will never be in question again." And I was just like, that was like almost turning the page from season 1 to season 4. And it's just like, I'm a completely new and different person. This is who I am. I'm going to put the Federation before all, even before my own relationships. And I think that was important for her to say, and I think it was important for the fans to hear.
And I think Book also knows what's going on. Because he makes a comment to Tarka that they need to destroy the DMA so that the sacrifice was worth it. Everyone Tarka's over there in the corner going.
They also love
professional guys. Can't you tell?
No, I love it. We're
not going to talk about how many glasses of wine I am into this.
Look, I'm only on one. But it's
but that's because you're moderating.
No, that's normally when I kick. Every now and then I go on mute, so I sip it up. Ozzy's laughing at me.
Ozzy's like, I am judging all of you. I am handling so much more, and I am not relying on chemical inducement. And I'm like, I gotta get
judging heavily. Judging
heavily. Yeah.
I would join, but I have a little distraction. Why I can't?
I see. My distractions are in the other room. And if I were, and I should turn on the monitor, but they're going to be very loud. And it's funny. I mean, the doctors were concerned about their lung development. Oh,
no,
they're good.
There's no.
They're good.
My sister was a preemie, and she was about this big when she was born. Oh my God, you could hear her across. Look, down the block, you could hear my sister. It's like, it's real. It's like, nah, everything they thought, the opposite actually happened.
I had one that was 3 pounds when he was born, and his brother was 5 pounds. And the 5-pounder looked like a giant in the NICU.
Wow.
And he looked like a regular baby. The 3-pounder did not. But I got to tell you, every time I would walk to the isolette to check him out, something would be moving. Something would be up and moving. Kicking his legs, moving his feet, trying to look up. That hasn't changed, and we're 3.5 years later. The kid is always in motion.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But by the time he becomes an adult, he's gonna be so laid back. Oh my God.
Jermaine.
Yeah.
Jermaine. He is my child. How do you think this kid's coming out laid back?
Well, someone has to be.
You're saying so, yeah, well, that's possible. That's possible. He's going to be the level-headed one of them. He's like, I gotta tell you, like his brother is tap dancing on Queen territory.
Attention seeker. Is that what it is?
A child is in the middle of everything.
Okay.
Everything. I don't know if you have one of those, Ozzy, but
I do.
It is exhausting.
Oh my God. I do. My oldest is just like that.
So look, so towards the end of the episode, they also learned the purpose of the DMA. That the DMA is actually being used to mine for borium. In the Star Trek world, have we ever encountered a species such as this? And if so, how? And in what ways are they similar? Could this be the Borg? Could this be the Gorn hegemony? Could this be Section 31?
You mean the Breen?
No, the Gorn hegemony from...
the Gorn. I don't think this is the Gorn. I really don't.
Who could this be?
We have no, I mean, they're brand new, and I am so here for this. Also, okay, we're going to go on a bit of a tangent now.
Okay.
I am so here for a new species, guys. I'm so here. Because one of the problems with this sort of rebooted Paramount Plus Trek is that like we're interacting with all of these other species, and that's fine. Okay, that's fine. But it's kind of like how the Mandalorian keeps going back to Tatooine, and I'm all here like, it's a big galaxy, folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real big galaxy. Like, why are we going back to the same planet over and over and over again? It's not attractive.
But I think some of that has to do with some fans, because some fans, they love the Klingons, so they had to bring the Klingons back. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it worked. I really like what they did with the Klingons. I like sort of how
fleshed them out.
Right, even though we'd had a significant amount of fleshing of them, in TNG. I really
no, I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I meant from TOS. We got the Klingons, but no, I wasn't talking about Discovery. I was really talking about TNG.
Okay,
yeah,
like I didn't think it was necessary.
And then like Deep Space Nine develops the Trill to a lesser extent, but certainly the Bajorans, certainly the Cardassians, Voyager,
the Ferengi. They developed the Ferengi. Oh my God.
Ferengi. Dad, did you know we got a Ferengi in this episode? Because the Ferengi was, of course, up to no good.
Almost every episode. I don't know if you've noticed, but in this season, almost every episode, we've seen a Ferengi.
We also saw Lurian, by the way.
Yeah.
Because, and I swear to you, I'm not exactly sure how Lurians have become like this never-ending joke, but they really have. It's like we've got to have a Morn stand-in like every iteration of this new Star Trek.
But why all of them look exactly like Morn? Like no deviation whatsoever.
No, this one was pale. This one was
pale. Okay,
and Morn was kind of grayish purple. This guy was pasty. This guy was like more closer to my skin tone. So we're getting some variation, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I am here for a brand new species. I am here for stranger new worlds. But did you see how I did that? Yeah. Be proud of me.
What character's development stood out most to you in this particular episode?
You mean aside from Owo?
Altogether. If it's Owo, it's Owo.
It's got to be Owo. Because nobody else is really doing anything. I mean, yes, Stamets has that amazing moment of emotional maturity, which I'm a big fan of. And I'm really glad that, again, Anthony Rapp is getting more to do as a space dad. But getting this, but that moment, it's not even like, and don't get me wrong, I loved the cage match. Like I'm there, like rooting for Owo.
Do you want to explain to Ozzy this match? Because Ozzy didn't watch the episode, but
tell me. I'm interested. Tell me about it.
So, All In is, first off, we knew going into it that we were going to get a gambling metaphor at the very least, because All In is like les jeux sont faits. Well, or the die is cast. Alea jacta est. We're just going to trot out all of Marie's random knowledge now. But one of the really cool things about it is we knew we were going to get a gambling metaphor, but like we somehow end up in like Casino Royale. but not necessarily in a Bond way, because even though it's kind of goofy, it's not like watching, say, Our Man Bashir, which is very much a Bond parody. And I love that episode. And wherever Robin is, I'm grateful she reminded me to watch it. But it's they go onto this barge because of course we still have to have steamboat casinos in space. I'm never not gonna laugh at that, guys. I'm never not. Like, as someone who grew up with a nodding acquaintance with the Mississippi Delta, like, that's funny to me. So we've got a steamboat casino. They go on there. They've got to come up with a stake to buy this isolinium from the bad guys. And so Owo goes in. So basically Owo is like, there's an arena in the middle of this barge, because of course there is. There's an arena. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to win us our stake. And like, everyone's like, this is a thing you can do. Magical Owo MacGuffin. You do that. So she goes down there and, she throws, I'm not sure. Like, in my read of the episode, she throws the fight twice. And then for the last one, and this is of course when, Burnham takes her bars of latinum and wagers all of them. She goes all in for the first time. Owo just beats the crap out of this guy. Just the crap out of this guy. This wasn't a Dusty Rock though, Marco. It wasn't a Dusty Rock. This was a sketchy casino.
So they're gambling.
Oh yeah, no, they're totally gambling. So we've got to
sounds like something.
We got to fight. We've got to fight for our stake, and then we go to like the sketchy poker table. And by the way, can we have a moment to talk about these people who are at the poker table, because they're all wearing the same thing, and apparently, like, to be a sketchy gambler in.
Wait, Marie, you paid attention to what they were wearing? I promise you, I didn't pay attention.
Well, I mean,
to any
first
of
off, did you not notice that we had like a Grace Jones stand-in?
What? Oh yes. Okay, yeah. I saw it, but it was just like, who is she and why? Like, okay, never mind. Please continue.
Yeah. So like, that's his shtick. So like, I mean, and then everybody else is like, we have gray hair and we have lots of really dark eyeliner. And as someone who wears a lot of really dark eyeliner, I was feeling a little targeted. I'm not gonna lie. You're not wrong, Michael. You're not wrong. Kind of hurt me a little. Just a little. I'm like, you spent so much money on this series and they all have to be wearing the same outfit? They're all aliens. Anyway, so then, like, Owo wins us our stake. We go and we play the poker game, and we get this amazing interaction between Book and Burnham, where they're literally just cooperating with each other via the least subtle signals I think I have ever seen.
So I loved it. Okay, so look, so my friend Michelle and I, we used to cheat in college all the time.
This is my shocked face.
No, we used to cheat at spades, and like it was like little subtle things. I mean, like it was easy for us to remember. Like if I did this, it meant I was high in hearts. Like like I got him. I'm about to kill it in hearts. If whatever. So like I understood it, because that was like that's what people who have a deep friendship do, right? They learn how to cheat. I don't know about you, but that's
I have a number of deep and abiding relationships and friendships, and I have never cheated in cards with them.
What? Oh wait, I need to see. Okay, so
I am too honest. Like I'm a terrible liar. Just a terrible liar. I don't have the subtlety for it. I don't have the patience for it. And so everybody's just like, if you need to cheat at cards, you're not gonna. And everything's on my face, right? Like everything is on my face at any given moment. So they're like, we're not taking Marie to Vegas ever. And to this day, I have never been to Vegas.
What? Oh no.
I haven't even played a slot machine.
Okay, now Marie. Okay, so next Star Trek convention that we all go to, we've got to be near a casino. Gotta take it. Got it. Now you know what? I'm not a gambler. Trust and believe I'm not a gambler, but you've got to do it.
I do. I trust and believe.
You trust and
believe, but I also trust and believe you swindled the crap out of your buddies with your friend Michelle.
Well, it wasn't for money. It wasn't for money because we were all poor. We were in college. We had no money.
All right, Ozzy has something she's going to share.
No, I said I believe he swindled the rest of his classmates, the rest of his college buddies.
No, but I was good at what I did. Now I will tell you this: we cheated so well that we learned how to do it without even cheating. We just knew each other well enough to where we didn't have to do that. After a while.
The only person I can cheat with is my brother.
See, a deep and abiding relationship. You can cheat with people that you really, really know.
See, no, I can't even do that because like my brother and I would get mad at each other and would like give up the ghost.
Oh no.
And it would literally turn into like everybody else is playing the game against everybody, and then Marie and Ellis are playing against Marie and Ellis. Like the rest of y'all could just burn. Like that's what would happen.
No,
I'm the only one who has a contentious relationship with her brother. No, okay. I see what you're saying.
Sometimes my brother and I would say something in like local language or in broken English, but it just seems like random, like in conversation, and no one will catch it, and that's how we cheat. That's how we cheat.
Oh no, I love it. Like you have the benefit of just being like, I don't speak the English. It's fine. Well, I should have known, Ozzy. I should have known. I am not playing cards with you either.
Could you wait a minute? You're not playing cards against me, or would you play cards with me?
Now, all right, now, like I would totally play cards with you because like at this point, I feel like I could kind of like Jermaine would do a disapproving Jermaine face, and like I now have enough of the disapproving Jermaine faces that they have like set meanings. Will and I actually have an entire array, and we look at each other and we're like, oh no, oh my god, we're gonna get disapproving Jermaine face B.
So chat said Quark would love me. I think so. I think I will make a really good dabble girl, and I will swindle all those customers. Because you already know I'm Nigerian, and you know what Nigerians are known for. What? So Quark and I will get along really well.
What are Nigerians
Nope. We have no idea what Nigerians are known for. You're gonna have to
like scamming and stuff like that.
Oh, like the Nigerian prince.
That prince.
Gotcha.
Nigerian prince. Look,
sorry, that has long since been replaced in my head by like all the people who were coming out of like Eastern Europe who were scamming us all.
No, the first time I got that email, I was like, "Oh my god, what can I do? I don't have any money, but what can I do?" This was 19. Was it 19? No, this was maybe 2000. No, I take that back. This was 1996.
I love the fact that you know, because I sort of feel like there has never been a time in my life when I didn't know about the Nigerian prince. Like, I feel like there was at one point, but like that scam has become so much part of like the zeitgeist of my life.
Really? So the first time I ever heard about it was through email. I didn't.
Yeah, because this was really before like BBS. This was the time of BBS boards.
Marie, how okay? So I knew I was older than you, but I never knew that I was that much older than you. I feel like I'm really old right now.
You're like what, 5 years older than I am?
Oh my god!
And Will, I need you to stop. I'm gonna ban you from the comments, William. I'm gonna ban you. Just ban you. No, I mean, you're only like what? I'm seriously, you're only like 5 years older than I am, I think.
Well, I mean, look, it's my college years. Anyway, y'all, we have come to the end of Trekker's Delight. We really do enjoy the fact that you spent time with us for the past hour. I know that I've enjoyed it. Ozzy, have you enjoyed it?
I haven't. I've missed y'all. Like, I'm
We
like,
have missed you too. I am so glad to see you. Also, you look super cute, by the way.
oh, thank you.
Super cute.
I was thinking I need to plan. I need to move some things around so I can do this again. But the next time, watch the show first. So I was like, oh, what do I say? I don't know. Just sit here and look pretty. Just smile. So I'm like, okay, just keep smiling.
Yeah, Margot. I sort of feel like you just confessed that you lost some money there. Sort of feel like you're telling on yourself, my friend.
Okay. I just gotta go.